For more than a year now, I've been struggling with my motivation. I've lost my drive and I've been trying to find my purpose again. And I'm at a point in my life now where I need to give my best, but I'm at the lowest point in my life, if that makes sense to you, right? I need to give my best, but I'm at the lowest point in my life. So something needs to give, right? I need a renewal of my mind. I've kind of figured that out this year, that it is mainly a mind problem. I've got everything sorted out. I know my routines. I know everything I need to do. It's just I can't get myself to do it, and it's a mindset thing. And this is where Marcus Rashford comes in. For those of you guys who don't know who Marcus Rashford is, he's an athlete. He plays for Manchester United. He's like 25 years old. And for the longest time now, he's been like a wonder kid. He's always played in the team, and there were these expectations set for him, and you kind of just expected him to hit them. And he just hasn't before this season, he hasn't hit those expectations. He just struggled. He just bumbled forward. Man United we've been quite inconsistent, but so has he. And as an athlete, when you're young, you just sort of expect to just keep getting that progression, especially if you're like a wonder kid, like Marcus Rashford was. And he started off well. He did start off well. 2 or 3 years, he was doing well. And then there was a point where you kind of expected him to jump a level, but he didn't. And you could see that he was kind of just getting a bit complacent with it. He was someone who is like, okay, I'm the wonder kid now at Manchester United. I've got these expectations set for me, and I'm just going to hit them. You just expect to hit them just because that's the path that's been laid out for you. And he got to a point where he just didn't hit that because he didn't put in the work, or there was a variety of factors that led to that. But ultimately, he hit the lowest point of his life. I think it was 2021. He was playing for England in the Euros, and he missed a penalty in the final, and he got like racist abuse, and he got into depression, and it was just really tough for him. And then he had another season where he had his worst season ever, right? Like, we started playing, he was like 16, no, he was 17. He came in and he did well. But he played a whole season. I think this was last season. He only scored 4 goals. And this is like an attacker. His main thing is scoring goals. It was literally the worst season he'd ever had. Even the season when he was 17 and he was coming off the bench, he was just scoring. Like, he had a season even worse than that. And I think that's when he hit rock bottom and he was like, no, I need a big change. So what happened was the summer came and he took a rest because obviously he needed to take a rest. And the issue was he was playing with a bunch of injuries. And he had to get like a surgery, and he had to like rest and recover from that. And he did take like a short break, but I think athletes had like 2 months off or whatever. I think he took like a couple of weeks. It was probably like 2 to 4 weeks. And he was back at it. He went to Nike headquarters, he met up with like specialists, he started working on his fitness, he got ripped, and he renewed his mind. And this season to cut a long story short, this season he's had his best ever season. We're like halfway into the season, he's had his highest scoring season. He's one of the best players in the world now. And it's just inspiring to hear that this is someone who he was doing well, and then he hit a rock bottom and he had a really bad season, and he was like, nah, let's tear up the blueprint and let me renew my mind. And now every time he scores, he does this. He always points to his head. And it's inspiring because I know I'm like in the same position. I need to renew my mindset. And if you're someone who's struggling with whatever it is you're struggling with, and you just can't get yourself to do the work, because that's really the biggest thing that we struggle with nowadays, because we've got an abundance of information. It's really just getting yourself to do it. Your mind, you need to renew your mind. And for me, Marcus Rashford has been inspiring me because he just tore apart the blueprint and was like, okay, here's the plan. I'm going to take my 2 weeks of holiday. I'm going to get my surgery first, take my 2 weeks of holiday. And he even proposed to like his long-term girlfriend, and now he's like engaged. And for you guys that might not like know about all this kind of thing, but for me, I've started like falling in love with the idea of being like a married man, and you just got your priorities set. I remember I was watching a Patrick Bet-David video, and he was saying like married men are just focused. Think about all the most successful men you see in the world, they're married. And it's just because you're not you're not distracted by other crap. Like, your life is stable and you can just focus on your craft. And so I just love that he's like engaged now, and he's got his mind in place and he's focused. And I've been putting so much emphasis on just trying to renew my mind and make sure that I'm focused, just organize my mind. Like David Goggins says, you need to organize your mind. It needs to be, I remember he was on the Joe Rogan podcast and he was talking about how your mind is like a garage. And if you're looking for something in the garage and everything is just everywhere, it's a mess. It's like, dude, you gotta spend hours looking for a specific thing. But if you organize your garage and you keep it organized, it's like, oh, I need the flipping screwdriver. Oh, I know where to get it. It's in the toolbox, and the toolbox is right there, and I'm going to get it. Same thing happens with your mind. It's no wonder why when you're struggling with something, you can't get up or you can't find your purpose, because your mind is just scrambled. It's everywhere. You need to organize it. So at the moment you're going through any kind of tough time, you're just like, where's my purpose? Oh, there it is. It's clear. It is clear in the front of your mind. Your mind is clear. And for me, I've actually, like, I've got on my journal, on my journal on my iPhone, I've actually got a title, and it's like Road to Turning My Mind into a Clean, Cold, and Impenetrable Fortress. Something like that. But I know the main thing is turning it into a clean, cold, and impenetrable fortress. I just want my mind to just be my temple, like, because that is what is the thing that's just going to lead me to everything that I need to do. I know I just need to get this right. So yeah, that's just my story on how Marcus Rashford is inspiring me. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood. And until next time, see you boys.